trying to preach like what they think polyamory only is and kind of set a lot of rules and guidelines of how you have to operate. And if you don't operate that way, then you're not serious. Like your relationship isn't real.
All right.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Camp Throuple Podcast. We are your host. We have
Alana,
Megan,
and I am Kevin. We're going to dive into some things. We've had quite a few people reach out to us and talk to us about, hey, I'm looking to start a throuple. I am starting a throuple. Hey, I'm very new in my throuple relationship, and trying to find resources in the polyamorous community for this type of relationship is a bit difficult.
Yes.
And one of the things that we stumbled upon when we've just got on social media was the negative narrative around a throuple relationship within the polyamorous community.
Yes. It's kind of like the black sheep of polyamory, it feels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree.
I'm kind of the only one who uses Reddit out of the three of us, probably because there's just a lot of garbage on there. But I remember one time I went on and searched, I think, throuple just to kind of see what would pop up. And it's like, oh, I hate the word throuple, or a lot of comments kind of suggesting that throuple isn't as serious as if you call it a triad. And that just seems crazy.
Just with the naming convention.
Yeah.
So if you call it a triad, you're more serious about being in the polyamorous community than if you call it a throuple.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, and I think people were noting that the term throuple insinuates that there's a couple with a third.
Right.
And
That's what
how-
the T is.
Yeah, that's how they like view the relationship if you use that word, which for us isn't like, that's not the case for our relationship. That's not what we mean.
Well, the word doesn't define us,
Yeah.
like other than in like just an easy thing to call it.
And a silly word, right?
It's a 3-person couple.
Yeah.
Like that was the best way we could think of it. It wasn't a couple and a third. It's a 3-person couple.
Well,
Which by that definition is a bit of an oxymoron too,
It
isn't
is
it?
a bit of an oxymoron.
I don't think it's like, the correct way to say it. Like you'd probably call it like a triple.
That was
Call it like a
throuple?
triple, like a triple hitter.
Well, because couple is 2, triple is 3. So like triple actually makes more sense to me, I guess. But you can call it whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. It's just a made up word.
That's how we
All
all
words
felt
are made
about
up.
it. I mean, like Kevin mentioned, there weren't a lot of resources for us for this type of relationship that we were entering in. We were all super new to polyamory and just sort of figuring it out. And it's going to sound cheesy, but we were just leading with our hearts. Like it wasn't something that we were taking like specific steps for. Like,
Right.
we weren't following some guideline. We were just figuring it out. So when we were like, what do we call ourselves? We were like, oh, like we looked up and we saw throuple.
Yeah, we're like, oh, that's
Or that's a funny word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess makes sense.
Yeah. And then I think too, with our social media, like deciding to call it Camp Throuple, we're like, well, we're locked in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go Camp
Yeah.
Triad.
Yeah.
That
Camp
sounds
Triad
a little
doesn't
too
sound-
rigid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
scientific.
Well, and one of the things that I had read, not on Reddit, I know you like to go down that rabbit hole. And actually, I think you were talking about we got brought up in one of those Reddit threads, right?
Yeah, there was something, and I think I responded, and then they like banned me from the channel. But I didn't comment anything bad. I just had a difference of opinion. And I think that unfortunately, not all, but some of the polyamory groups on there are kind of trying to preach like what they think polyamory only is and kind of set a lot of rules and guidelines of how you have to operate. And if you don't operate that way, then you're not serious. Like your relationship isn't real.
And my understanding in polyamory is it's all about equality, it's all about consent, and it's all about strong or open communication, right? So being transparent with your partners, with yourself as well, making sure everybody is equal. There's no like hierarchical relationships
Right.
where, for example, in some thruples, I'm sure it exists because there's like 10% in every group that might not respond in the best way, right?
Yeah.
Where they have the couples making the decisions and the third person just has to follow along, take those orders and keep marching, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there have been people that have been hurt by this because it doesn't seem like a healthy, fun situation to be a part of. But I think it's also incorrect to judge everybody who's in a throuple, triad, whatever, a closed 3-person relationship as it's unhealthy. It's not part of the polyamorous community. And you're kind of looked down upon because like I've mentioned in the beginning, we have had a lot of people that have reached out to us talking to us about like, man, people really look down on throuple relationships in the polyamorous community. Like, which is a shame because as I mentioned, those 3 things, it's all about communication, equality, and then consent. As long as you're doing that, regardless of what the relationship looks like, if it's in a healthy stance, everyone's adults consenting and wanting to do this, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these kinds of relationships aren't a one size fits all. Like we've said that for years is you can learn from us, but everybody's relationship is going to have different kind of nuances. You know?
For sure. Like we have people asking us for advice all the time and we're like, we have no idea. Like we haven't faced that. Like we can give our 2 cents on maybe how we think we would handle it, but there's so many different situations that can come up. And that's any relationship.
Right. Yeah. We're just figuring it out as we go. And we always try to say, like, this is how we handled it. Not sure if that's how it's going to work for you. And I'm not going to say, not sure if it's the right way, in quotes, because I don't think there is a right and wrong. I mean, there might be a wrong way. Yes, you could do it wrong, but each person's going to go through this differently.
Yeah.
It's not one set way.
Yeah.
And, you know, feelings come up for people differently. And we can't put ourselves in your situation every time if we haven't gone through that. We can put ourselves in your shoes and try to figure out how we would feel, but it's going to be different. But I do find it interesting that like because if you think about it, polyamory, we've looked this up, the meaning is just multiple lovers. Like if you go down to the Latin root of it, multiple lovers, which is what we have.
Right.
So we are in that community and we consider ourselves part of that, but it is a bit odd to have people look down on it or say, well, you're not doing it right.
Within the polyamorous community that we're a part of.
Yeah, like if anything right now, maybe we should all kind of band together since there is so much like misunderstanding and like hate geared towards it.
Yeah. We're just showing another way of love and just helping people open their minds and understand a little bit more.
And I think one of the things is being in a closed like 3-person relationship. That's another aspect that I've seen on Reddit.
Love Reddit.
No, I've seen multiple places, but being in a closed 3-person, closed 4-person, whatever, it almost feels like that's looked down upon by some people.
Right. And which is very interesting because to your point, like polyamory is all about being able to create and maintain relationships with more than one person, like having that affection or emotion behind it rather than it just being a physical act of hooking up, right? And yeah, I think a lot of people unfamiliar with polyamory also just think that if you're in a polyamorous relationship, that means you're open.
Yeah.
Which we've discussed before, and we've had people approach us or discuss with us, like open to a 4th. And again, a lot of these people are joking and they just want to be silly. But there's also been serious messages and conversations of, I would love to join you 3.
Yeah.
And we're really cool about it. Like,
Seats
it's
taken.
flattering. Like, thank you, but our relationship is closed.
Yeah.
There are throuples that might have one person that is open. All 3 people could be open. It looks different for everybody, but I do think closed triads, closed throuples, closed 3-person relationship, whatever words you want to use, do feel more flack than others in the polyamorous community, but not just within the polyamorous community, outside as well, because people that are ignorant in this area might just assume, or associate polyamory to being open, where you can just have as many partners as you want.
I think that's the biggest thing is people outside of the polyamorous community make that assumption about us more often. Just because when you hear that word, I think it's just assumed that you're open and you're just going and sleeping around with whoever you want. And
It's kind of like they think more like a swinger pops in their head. I feel like more than anything.
Which, if that's what you're into and you're all consenting, who
fine.
cares? Do it. You know, there's no right or wrong or good or bad answer, with the exception of just judging others based off of what you think is right or wrong.
Yeah.
Trying to push that onto other people and make people feel less.
And when I say like there are people in the polyamorous community who I have seen have these views, it is not everyone.
No.
There also have been a ton of accepting people in the polyamory community, like who
More
are
often
super
than
cool.
not, I think.
But there are, just those certain people. And like, it just makes me feel like they're just kind of unhappy and looking for something to pick at, to be completely honest, when I read some of the stuff where it's just like, why are you letting this even bother you? That could be about anything that people, judge and make rules about that they have no business doing.
Well, there could be some unresolved pain, trauma behind an experience that they had in this type of relationship. And I'm empathetic to that, right? And I'm blanking on who said it, but there's a quote that says, hurt people, you know? They might be unaware, unconscious of their actions, but every action has a reaction. Every action has a wake sometimes, of what you're doing. And it's just to be more aware. I'm curious what you meant by banding together. What are you talking about there, Mace?
Okay.
build our army.
Yeah.
An army of throuples.
I'm just like polyamory. I think we've experienced being on social media. Like, I actually thought it was a little more accepted than it is. Like being on social media, I'm like, holy shit! Like, people really don't like this. Like, this
Throuples
is.
or polyamory?
I mean,
I know.
definitely throuples for sure.
We can speak to throuples, but definitely, I think the entire
When I say banding
polyamorous.
together, I'm just like, if there's like issues within our own community that we don't have figured out, I think it's less likely for other people to understand us if we can't even come to an understanding with each other.
Sure. And I think social media, sorry to cut you off, but I got a thought that I want to run with.
Yeah, do it.
I think social media and the internet is a difficult place to sometimes have or facilitate conversations, especially when it's through something like a Reddit trend or a thread, because you can't convey tone through text. You also don't know who's messing around and just putting stuff
Could
in
just be
there
trolls.
to be a troll,
Yeah.
to get reactions from people. Like, there's plenty of times in our relationship where I'm not married to an idea. I don't even believe in it. But I'll take the side to just see how you
I
guys
love when you do
respond
that.
and
Megan's favorite.
and just kind of poke holes, because I think it's good to like try and understand someone else's viewpoint that way, But social media, and particularly like threads, like in the comment section, is very hard, because if you really, the other aspect of it, why it's difficult, is in real life scenarios, some of the comments you get on social media, someone would never say to your face.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's 'cause I
there
would
are
smack 'em.
consequences. Yeah,
That's
there,
why.
She's kidding. She's so kidding.
there,
Maybe, depending on the comment, babe. There's some comments where it would be
It's
okay.
hands-on site.
Yeah, that's right.
but there are, you know what I mean? Like, you can just easily say an outlandish thing, say something crazy, hurtful,
Yeah.
and then close your app, close your browser,
Be like,
and not have to deal with an immediate
did my part
consequence.
today.
Whereas if you were in front of somebody, there could be an altercation, regardless if it's physical or not.
Yeah.
But there is something as body language. There is feeling the energy of somebody else that might not receive your comment in a positive way. And yeah, as Meg said, you might get slapped,
You might catch hands.
Right.
These hands.
Exactly.
Alana, I know that you think that's bad.
Is.
But-
It's assault. Actually, a crime to just smack someone. They're not going to care what they said to you.
I know, but sometimes I'm a criminal. So just got to happen. Just got to happen. Can I also just say, totally off subject of what we're talking about?
Okay.
I love that we shoot our podcast at home and we can do it in sweatpants.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
are.
You know what
For
I
those
mean?
of you who are not watching, we're in our sweats today
Yeah.
because it's
It is so cold.
It's
cold
so
and we wanna
cold,
be
and we're just like
comfortable.
comfy. Like, who
Yeah.
cares? I love it.
I'm going to be
me
honest
too.
with you. Since moving to Colorado and having days where it's, I don't know, -6,
Yeah.
I care less about what I wear than when I was living in Southern California. For example, like if it's cold, I will go out in sweatpants, which I never did.
Yeah,
One
that's
time,
true.
I never did that in Southern California.
Yeah.
you always would put on jeans, and I would wear
Or shorts,
like
or
sweats out, and I was like, God damn it, Kevin, put on some comfier clothes. I look like a slob.
yeah. And then moving here, I'm like, nah, I get it. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all about staying alive, you
That's
know,
right.
and being
That's
warm.
right.
Yeah, it gets intense. We're gonna be getting some cold here in a minute.
Yeah, an Arctic front coming in.
Let's go. Let's go.
Go.
Yeah. So, I mean, bottom line, everyone just like be nice to each other. If people want to call themselves throuple, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, who really cares? It does not hurt anyone.
Yeah. I don't look at it as the meaning of a couple and a third when I hear that word. Same with triad. Triad just sounds a little, like I said, rigid or scientific to me. Doesn't sound like it's
But it doesn't bother
describing
me.
a relationship. But yeah, if that's what you're calling yourself, I'm like, okay,
Cool.
I get the point.
Yeah.
I get the point.
Yeah. No judgment.
Well, it's also wild to like tell somebody, excuse me, which we've had multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a triad.
Stop
it's not
calling yourself
throuple.
that.
Stop calling yourself a throuple. And if you know anything about us at all, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
That's right. That's
So the
right.
answer is going to be
No.
no.
And there's been plenty times personally in my life, Alana, you can attest to this, Megan, you can attest to this, that if there's something that someone is forcing me to do, even at my own benefit, where I am going to benefit from the situation, I won't do it.
Yeah.
Like even with you guys telling me to do something,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
do it.
I know.
It's just like,
You can ask me the same exact task or question, whatever. I'm more than happy to.
Yeah. I think we've figured that out. Like we
Yeah.
know how to handle the situation.
I'm not going to be like, Kevin, take out the trash right now.
You'd be
'Cause
like,
then you'd be like, can't.
Can't do it.
Yeah, I can't. It's snowing. It's
Yeah.
cold out there.
No way.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's 5 feet of snow. It's a blizzard. You're like, babe, would you mind taking out the trash? I'd be like, yeah. I got all these, my big stupid arms. What are they doing? Yeah, let me lift something.
Yeah, don't waste them.
Yeah, exactly. God gave these to me for a reason.
Yeah, I think the word we're looking for here might be stubborn.
Maybe.
Might be a
Sure.
little
But I
stubbornness.
feel like all 3 of us are like this
Yeah.
in this context, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, we're living a happy, loving life. We're all equals in this relationship. So don't tell me what to call my relationship. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye,
you know,
bye.
send it back with love. I think the biggest point why I wanted to bring this up today was for all the new people that are out there that are either starting a throuple, triad, you know, getting into one, looking into one, whatever, you've been in there for a few months, even years, and you're looking at resources and you're feeling shame,
Yeah.
or guilt, or anything like that, just let it go.
Yeah.
I also just want to give a quick story, and I've told this story on, I think, lives before, but I love this because you can use this story in just about any aspect of your life. But there's a story of a man who, as he's walking, he sees this bush on fire, and in the bush there's a snake. And he goes and tries to rescue the snake. And as he goes to grab it to save it from burning, right? It's really hot. This fire we're talking about now.
Yeah.
The snake strikes him, bites him.
Jerk.
Now somebody's coming along on the path because they see the smoke. They want to know what all this commotion about, what's burning. And they see this man get struck by this snake. A few seconds later, the man goes back in, grabs the snake, gently, of course, responsibly, gets the snake out of the fire and saves the snake.
What a guy.
Well, this bystander that sees this whole thing is like, I don't know, this guy is crazy or out of his mind, right? He didn't even try and put the fire out. He just tried to save the snake.
Yeah.
And it struck him, and he said, you know, why did you save that snake after it bit you? And he said, a snake's job, and especially if it's threatened, is to protect itself, and it bit. That's what the snake does. My job, what I like to do, is to help people. I'm not going to change what I do because the reaction of somebody else or something else in this case. And I just love this because if somebody mistreats you, if somebody hurts you, you know, if they're physically hurting you, please don't stay in that environment, you know, seek help. But you're always in control of how you respond to things. And just because somebody or something or somebody you love dearly has hurt you, you still have a choice of how to respond, and you can respond out of love. So just like I said, hurt people until you heal, and then you can help people, you know? So I think that's worth noting as well.
I love it.
So if you are frustrated, if you feel shame, if you've been put down, you know, just kind of respond with love. Sometimes people don't understand. Sometimes people are hurt, and you have the decision and the opportunity to shine a little brighter in sometimes what feels like a very dark world, you know?
There you go. I'm not really going to hit anybody. I was just kidding.
That's good. That's good. I know you're joking.
I do also respond with love in
You do.
the majority of these situations. I am only human.
You're just a woman. You're just a human.
That's why it's different. If someone was
I'm just
in
a
your
man,
face
too. I didn't
and
mean
they
that
were-
as like you're just a woman. I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I don't think men are allowed to say that.
Yeah.
They get in
about to
big
be
trouble.
I
hands
always
on
say
site
I'm
here.
just a man.
No, I know. I know
So
what
I
you
was trying
mean.
to,
But yeah,
but it did
just
sound a little condescending. You're just a woman.
like I can say it.
You
I'm
can say
just
it.
a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No man can say that.
Which is funny because you've said it to me. You're just a man.
just a
You're
man.
just a man, Kevin.
Yeah.
What more can you do?
Yeah. I think it's more just like, you know what it is.
You know what it is.
what it is.
Sorry, Alana.
You're also just a woman.
You're just a woman.
A wonderful woman.
Thank you. A wonderful woman of odds. I don't remember what I was going to say, to be honest,
That's
but
quite all right.
I like your story. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you're not actually going to hit anyone. Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Unless
Boom.
I'm attacked. If I'm attacked.
Well, okay, yeah,
hit 'em
self-defense,
back.
totally good. I know if someone's up in your face in real life, then it gets a little hard to like
tackle-
hold back.
I could tackle
I'll hold
'em.
you back,
Yeah.
so you don't get assault or criminal record.
Thanks.
But yeah, if someone's saying stuff online, it's just kind of like, who are they?
Yeah.
They might be going through their own stuff, whatever. That's why you just respond in the way that you.
Would want to be responded.
There you go. I was going to say respond in the way you want, but I'm like, yeah, you might want to say some stuff. But yeah, respond in the way that you would actually want to be talked to.
Well, I think that's like a very old thing, right? Treat others as you would want to be treated.
Is that the golden rule? The
Excuse
golden-
me? What is it? What
Oh,
color?
I'm sorry. I didn't understand that. Can you repeat that, please?
You use that in a sentence?
The golden rule?
Oh,
I said something else earlier, but you get me.
yeah.
Treat others as you want to be treated?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's the moral of the story.
There you go.
That's what this whole podcast was. We just wrapping it up here.
That's right. That's right.
But before we wrap it up,
Oh, no, not the bag.
we have to do a little something. The more you know.
This more you know.
All right. So again, for everyone that didn't see our last episode, This More You Know is brought to you by Camp Throuple. And the idea behind this fun game is we're going to read a question, situation, scenario. We're each going to have about 30 seconds to respond. And we need your help to vote on who had the best response, funniest response, whatever you want to be. Let us know in the comments below.
We're going
We'd
to
appreciate it.
differentiate these responses this time because last time it was just
all
Megan.
me.
Hey, we were just starting. All right, Alana.
So
All right, let Megan choose this
yeah, I
one.
was like, I picked last time.
Ta-da. Do I get to read it?
You can read
yeah.
it.
Are you going to go first?
I can go first. Sure.
Kevin will go first.
Okay, here we go. Okay. If our relationship were a fast food menu item, what would it be called and what's in it?
The triple cheeseburger.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, one, cheeseburger is my favorite meal. And then, yeah, 3 patties. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I'm panicking.
I'm ready.
You
Go.
ready? Okay, go.
The s'more.
You guys are so good.
Come
at
on.
this.
We got the
It
cracker.
was right there.
We got the mushroom.
Nope.
These
What
are
kind of
different
s'more?
kinds.
Marshmallow.
So, marshmallow and chocolate. Maybe
But you
I
get
want
your
a
s'mores.
savory one. because you guys.
You want a graham cracker
because
with
I wanna
chocolate and mushrooms?
Maybe. I just want
mushrooms
to
we're
savor
talking
this relationship. So that's my savory s'more is what
Nice.
I call this.
Nice catch.
That's right. The savory s'more.
Nice save.
That's it.
Alana,
My palms are sweating.
are your knees weak?
My arms are heavy.
Oh no.
You can do it.
You got triple. You got s'more. The first thing that comes to my head is like thrice the delight.
Okay.
I don't know what that even means or what it would entail.
Sounds like there's rice in it.
We can have
Sure.
some like basmati rice, some jasmine rice. What kind of rice are we
It's
talking?
3 kinds of rice. That's my dish.
Okay. All right.
Just 3.
A lot of filler.
I should have done something like a flight. It's a
Nope,
rice flight.
too
It's a
late.
rice the delight is a rice flight. For those of you rice aficionados out there, this one's for you.
There you go.
Jasmine. You get brown rice. We used to get this mixed one from Trader Joe's. That was good.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
And you can pair it with anything you want. You figure out the meat. and
Your
veggies. I got
storytelling
rice.
is my favorite, Alana, because like, especially when you wake up and tell us your dreams, it's like a constant run-on sentence.
Yes.
And I love it.
Yeah,
And then this happened, and then this happened, and you want to know what else, and then you can do this, and then also there's that.
Yeah. They're also a lot of times my dreams are kind of, in quotes, like normal life.
Yes.
Where I'm just like, I had the weirdest dream.
She says
Like
that.
I was at the grocery store. They didn't have pineapples, but they did. They were just different. They were like, I don't know. I can't.
So I picked up carrots.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
It's
it.
like you expect it to be this like crazy story, but like
like,
she just
isn't
went to
that
the grocery
weird?
store and we're like,
Thank you for sharing with me.
thank you, Lana. All right, we're going to go on another day now.
But I always share my dreams whenever I
mean,
remember.
I
I love that you share your dreams with us.
Yeah.
I'll share my dreams with you as well.
Thank you. I hope you both share your dreams with me.
But of course,
But of
my
course.
savory s'more.
All right. So if you had a favorite answer, leave it in the comments below. Let us know if you've had any experiences in, being a throuple or looking into it and seeing a negative narrative. And
Or
yeah,
if you had a different experience, share that
Yeah.
with us. Like maybe you haven't gone through this feeling of being like the black sheep of the polyamorous community. And if you haven't experienced that, definitely let us know because everyone's going to have their own unique experience and maybe yours is different.
Yeah. And also, if you guys have any outlandish questions to throw into the s'more basket,
Yeah.
maybe we'll add a couple in there. If you guys comment some that are like, oh, that's a good one, we'll
Yeah.
throw them in there. We'll throw them in the mix.
So comment who you think had the best answer and all my rice babes out there.
and we're very competitive. So we are looking to see who actually won in this.
That's right.
Real concrete.
I'm making you guys 3 different types of rice for dinner tonight.
Oh my God.
Kevin, you want a triple cheeseburger,
There
don't
you
I?
go. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we appreciate you. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
watching.
campers.
Please like, please subscribe, and lights out, baby.
Lights out.
Bye, guys.
Bye.